Here are 5 new Mac games from March and 1 from February 2022. Number 1, we have TUNIC. I've been following TUNIC very closely since it was revealed at E3 2017, so I'm so happy to see it's finally out and that the dev didn't forget about the promised Mac port. Thank you. TUNIC is an indie masterpiece. The graphics may look cute, and it's clearly inspired by Zelda, but don't let it fool you. It has some Souls-like gameplay mixed in there. It's quite difficult in terms of the combat sequences and even the puzzles. You will die a lot. Thankfully, the game has some accessibility features that you can toggle on in case things are too hard. It offers a native M1 port too, which is very good to see. TUNIC should be supported on most Macs back to 2013. But for the best experience, keep it to an M1 based Mac or an Intel Mac with a 2GB or better dedicated graphics card. It is available on Steam, GOG, and the Epic Games Store. Number 2 is Inscryption. Originally released in October 2021 for Windows PC, the Inscryption team are finally tackling the Mac port of their awesome card battler. It's important to note, it is out in beta for Mac right now through Steam. To play the Mac beta, you obviously must buy the game first, then go into the game's properties on Steam and enter a unique code to gain access to the Mac port. I have linked a guide from the developer in the video description if you want to play the game on your Mac. Obviously, being in beta may come with its issues, but on my end, I have had 0 problems. A native M1 application is supported, which again is good to see. It's honestly best that I don't show much of this game or explain much about it either. The best way to experience it is to go in completely blind. Trust me. Inscryption should be supported on most Macs back to 2013. Number 3, we have Ghost on the Shore. If you're a fan of walking simulators from What Remains of Edith Finch, Dear Esther, Gone Home, or even Firewatch, this game is the next one to try out. You, Riley, are shipwrecked on an island. Your only companion is a ghost named Josh that has attached himself to you. Together, you will explore the homes of vanished islanders and discover their belongings in order to get to know Josh. Making dialogue choices with him will affect the ending of the game and will show how he managed to die. The developer told me the visual quality has been improved on M1, but the native M1 version uses a bit more memory than the Rosetta version, so there are some performance issues right now running at 4K resolution, and I don't suggest playing the game on an M1 config with only 8GB of memory at this present time. Ghost on the Shore is also best played on an Intel Mac with a 2GB or better dedicated graphics card. It is available on the Mac App Store, Steam, and GOG. Number 4 is Airborne Kingdom. This game completely came out of nowhere for me. Airborne Kingdom is a refreshing new type of simulation strategy game. Players will create their own kingdom up in the skies, build housing, service buildings, research technologies, and gather resources to continue prospering. The fun element is that the more you build, the heavier your kingdom becomes, and you'll quickly have to work out how to keep it afloat. It's not by any means a stressful experience though, it's a chill one at that. And it's not super complex either, the game clearly outlines how to play it. The only downside to this game is that it's not very well optimized on Mac. I struggled to get 60 FPS on an M1 Max chip. Anyway, these type of games don't require a high FPS to be playable. Airborne Kingdom is best played on an Intel Mac with a 4GB or better dedicated graphics card or an Apple M1 based Mac. Airborne Kingdom is available on Steam, and the Epic Games Store. Number 5, we have Geyser, Couriers of Darkness. This isometric party-based CRPG received Mac support back in February, but I held off showing it last month as not many games came out on Mac last month, and the game itself came out of early access in March, so I thought I'd just wait until this month to show it. You will recruit characters with unique personalities and will explore a land ravaged by civil war and a mysterious curse of greed. The game has mixed reviews for various reasons, and it's important to note them. The price is a little too steep for some players. Some of the quests can be a little repetitive or boring. There are long load times, but that is more for the Windows PC version, not so much for recent Macs, and some are not a fan of the graphical style. I personally love the look of the game. It's similar to Pathfinder or Pillars of Eternity. Anyway, it's a pretty big RPG, but it has some issues. I just thought it was still worth showing. Geyser, Couriers of Darkness is best played on an Intel Mac with a 4GB or better dedicated graphics card, or an Apple M1 based Mac. Geyser, Couriers of Darkness is available on Steam and GOG. Here are some bonus new Mac games. We Happy Few isn't really new to Mac, it was unofficially ported over in mid-2020 on Steam, but it's unlisted. You won't see the Mac icon when you look for the game on Steam. However, you can buy it and install it directly on your Mac. I only recently discovered the Mac version, and I wanted to share it with you guys, as we don't get many games of this visual caliber on Mac very often. Note, it's not supported on M1 based Macs. I'm very sorry, it won't even launch, but it works pretty well on an Intel Mac with an 8GB or better dedicated graphics card. Vampire Survivors was ported to Mac back in February, and you know, it's a pretty well looked at game. It's got really good reviews. It's a great action roguelike, even if it's got 2D graphics. It's awesome. It's really cheap too. Blackwind is a decent arcade hack and slash with good graphics for a small developer. It's sadly held back by weird camera perspectives in certain areas, and it doesn't have the best voice acting, if I'm honest with you. It's not great. Arctico is all about exploration and resource management, and it's presented at a very relaxing rate. It has some weird performance issues on Mac, which is strange for a game that isn't that visually advanced. I know what you're saying. What is this? Fire and Fight is an online multiplayer shooter. It's not the most visually impressive shooter out there, I know. It's on maybe the level of a Far Cry 3 or just a PS3 game maybe, and not many people are actually playing it online, but I still had some fun in the matches that I could connect to. It has some pretty good shooting gameplay. It offers a free demo on Steam if you're interested. I just thought, I don't know, I like the game, so yeah. The Last Cube is a really good puzzle game. It has extremely unique mechanics for getting through levels and surprisingly good 3D graphics. There were times when I would just be rolling down the world and be like, whoa, this game looks pretty good at this current moment. So what do you think about these new Mac games from February and March 2022? Is there anything on this list that you will actually pick up? Let me know in the comments because I'm very interested. I'm really happy that we're starting to see more native Apple Silicon games, so keep it up, devs. If you found this video helpful discovering new Mac games, leave a like and subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with upcoming Mac games. My name's Stewie and thanks for watching.